everybody in YouTube land, and welcome to the darkness once again. You know, I found out something that kind of struck a nerve, so to speak. And I found out something that is rather unfortunate, but it's true. We all have demons inside of us all. We all have that shred of darkness within each and every one of us that we lock away, that we hide, praying that it will never be let out, praying that it will never be released. But yet it slowly seeps through, doesn't it? It slowly comes to pass, doesn't it? Slowly creeping like a disease till it finally reaches its breaking point. Then when you reach at your breaking point, that's when the darkness comes through. That's when the change really starts to happen. Little by little, piece by agonizing piece. It's already happening to you now. Look at you. Trying to be Mr. or Mrs. High and Mighty, trying to hide all of that pain, all of that hurt, all of that sorrow, all of that anger, trying to keep a bottle on it. But yet it builds more and more and more until it explodes like a keg of dynamite. And who knows how many innocent people you hurt in a fit of rage? Who knows how many innocent people you insult when you run your mouth? Who knows how many people you cut with that knife that you hide behind your tongue? But yet, when you're in a pit of rage, you don't care about that, do you? Yet the thought never crossed your mind, did it? Of thinking about the other person, thinking about how they feel. No, the thought never crossed your mind, did it? No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Because if it did, you wouldn't have said what you said. If it did, you wouldn't have done what you've done. But it's too late. You can't erase what you've done. It's already out there. You can't erase what you said. It's already been said. The only thing that you can do now is what you should have done years ago. Is to simply deal with the problem and either learn from it or just continue to run from it, thinking that it'll never catch you, thinking that it'll never find you, thinking that it will never come to pass. When it will. One day it will. One day you're going to blow up, and one day you're going to see the repercussions of you. And guess what? In your lowest moment possible, that is when your real thinking begins. That's when your real reconstruction begins. Because out of destruction comes reconstruction. Out of demolished everything comes rebuilding. And you easily get rebuilt, but you're rebuilt in such a way that the world fears you, that the world is afraid of you, that the world fears the very name that you carry. Because you took, and you took, and you took, and you took, and you gave, and you gave, and you gave, and you gave. Until you couldn't give anymore, until you couldn't take anymore. And then in that moment was when you decided to release your anger. That in that moment is when you decided to release all of that pain, all of that mistreatment, all of that negativity. In one blow, you struck them as hard as you could. You hit them with everything you got, and then some. And they never even knew what hit them. They never even knew you had that true strength. They never even knew you had that true power within you, sleeping away, waiting for the right moment for you to be at your lowest so that it can take you and remake you into a whole entire different creature. Think about it. That's just exactly what it did, didn't it? It took everything you were and gave you a chance to rebuild yourself, to renew yourself, and to become a creature entirely different. To become the thing that your enemies feared the most. Someone that doesn't care about popular opinion. Someone who doesn't care about what the public says or what the public does. No, you don't. You focus on the one thing that got you here in the first place. The one thing that brought you to this place. And you use it as a stepping stone to build yourself even further and further and further and further until finally you're the one stepping on these people that stepped on you all of those years. You are the one taking what is rightfully yours and using it to their disadvantage. You are the one. You are the instrument of their destruction and the solitude of your creation. Think about it. Great kings of society weren't just built. They were made. And they were made through pain, heartache, sweat, and tears. They were made because they endured. They took the best of the best and they took the worst of the worst and they switched it around and made it to their advantage, to their enemy's disadvantage. And they conquered their enemies one by one, like a stack of dominoes. Bang, 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 bang. And then when you reach the top, what have you got left? Nothing. You just sit back and you just enjoy and let the other maggots squirm and squalor and struggle their way to a top that they'll never see, to a top that they'll never be. Because why? Because they are pond scum. They'll always be down in the bottom, and you won't, because you have a chance to rise up from it. You have a chance to be better than they are. And you know it, don't you? You know your potential, don't you? You just don't want to express it. You just don't want to show it because you are scared. You are afraid. You are the pathetic coward. But you could easily switch it around. And instead of becoming a coward, you could become a king. Instead of becoming a servant, you yourself can become a ruler. You just got to have what it takes to go through the muck, through the garbage, through the pain, and through the agony so you can actually see the light that waits for you. Because you see, I'm not just saying this to bust your chops or to just make myself look better. No, I'm not. I'm just throwing my little tidbits of advice, little tidbits of whatever you want to call it. And it's up for grabs. Take it or leave it. You know, with me, I don't need anything. Because I have everything. Because I have the one thing that nobody can take away from me. I have strength, I have endurance, and I have relentlessness. Do you know what that means to be relentless? You know what that means to try and accomplish your goals no matter what and let nothing stop you? Do you know what that means? Do you know what that is? Because obviously you don't. Because if you did understand everything there is and got it all figured out and all that, you wouldn't be sitting here listening to me talking to you right now. You know, I understand that I don't have popular opinion. I understand that I don't have popular beliefs and all that kind of thing. Well, you know, I'm not one with the world. I never have been. I never will. I'm one with whatever I decide to create. Because the world is my oyster. And I can create it however I want. Just like you. And just like you have the same opportunities and everything else that goes with that. You have the same thing. You know the best way to really piss off your enemy, to really aggravate somebody? Say only one or two words. And then for the rest of the time, be silent. And watch those words grow. Watch those seeds of what you put in that person's mind. Watch them germinate and devour that person from the inside out. Because they'll be so paranoid. They'll be so concerned of what you said that they won't be focused on the real picture and the real entity, so to speak, that has finally come for them. You see, I know I'm not the world's most popular guest speaker here, but you've got to admit I am speaking the truth. And I don't really care if people listen to me or not. I don't really care if I have any subscribers or not. I'm telling the truth. I'm speaking the truth. I'm speaking the truth from a third-party observation. That's it. So my advice is out there. Take it or leave it. That's up to you. You can call me a nut job. You can call me crazy person. Whatever you want to call me. Whatever floats your boat. But you've got to admit one thing. The advice I'm giving to you is free. Talk is cheap. Gossip's free. And actions speak louder than words. And that's all I'm going to say.